Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon, the pickup guy.
I don't know if that's going to stick or not. Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show wherever you're at. We welcome you. And if this is your first time, boy, are we happy you're here. If this is your 150th time, we are so glad you're back.
Or your 233rd time.
Or your 233rd time. That's right. We just keep racking them up. I'm happy about that. And man, oh man, am I excited about this episode. We've got a very special guest on. A very special guest. Who might you be?
Keith from Marvin Guitars.
Yes.
Keith from Marvin Guitars. Okay, now, everybody's like, well, that might be new to me. What is Marvin Guitars? Where can people find your guitars right now as they're listening?
MarvinGuitars.com.
Perfect. And on Instagram?
Instagram.com/Marvin Guitars.
Okay. So go find Marvin Guitars. You're going to want to do that because these guitars are flipping awesome. And you're going to want to hear all about it while you're looking at it. So it's going to match up beautifully. Keith, we are going to have a great time tonight. We're going to talk about you.
All right.
And talk some more about you.
Okay.
And probably about your guitars.
All right. Let's talk more about guitars because I'm pretty boring.
Yeah. Keith and I had a really great phone call. Pretty much probably could have done the episode right there, I think.
Probably so.
Yeah, if you weren't like on your way to the supermarket or whatever it was. But I really enjoyed talking with you, so I know this is going to be a good one. We're good. We have a few announcements we're going to start off with. Tony's awake. That's
I'm awake.
Good. And
yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a hot microphone you got there.
You're a hot microphone. All right. So, hey, I wanted to share something. As you know, we get lots of great feedback from people.
Yes, we do.
Maybe some of you mentioned I met a guitar player a couple weeks ago, and we struck it up, and it was, it's like sort of one of those after the show cool things where you're like, hey, we're a lot alike, and we grew up in the same area, and we like the same. It's like, kind of a cool thing. I made a little friend over there.
Friends.
Yeah, friends. So, anyways, turns out that friend decided to be a supporter too, which was, caught me unawares. So he sent a message. He says, hey, love the show, brother. It's like hanging out with friends, just talking about guitars and gear, which is something I don't get to do very much. Here are my answers to your questions. We ask questions all the time of the new people. Yeah. He says, so his Vox, he does Vox amps, AC15 and AC30, and it says, I can't go without these two pedals, the Full Tone OCD and his Gold Icon by J Rocket. His favorite parts of the show, when you talk about new gear that you acquire. Well, that's usually Tony. He's the one with all the money.
Yeah.
And
I'm the one with all the credit card bills.
Yeah. And he said he hasn't gone that far in the episodes, but he would love to hear things about pedals that marry well with Vox amps. Now, Tony is our resident Vox expert, so I think that would be something that maybe he could dive into.
I think Vox front ends take pedals probably as good as Fender, maybe better than Fender. The only time I've ever had real trouble with front end loading of certain pedals is on a Marshall and a Mesa Boogie. But I think that there is something in the if Rob was here, he could probably tell us what it is. But whether it's the buffering or whatever circuitry is in the input stage of both most Fender amps. I'm sure there's some out there that don't work as well as Voxes. And in fact, when we get pedals to test and things like that, I always test them through my Vox AC15 because I know the sound, and then I can tell what the pedal is doing in addition to that sound.
Yeah.
So, I think you're safe with just about anything on the front end of a Vox.
Yeah. Well, all right. Hopefully that helps you out, Hex. And he says, I decided to support you guys not only because I love what you guys are doing, but I know how expensive music gear can be. You guys do a lot more than most other shows that I've heard. The guitar community needs shows like this. Well, we really do appreciate that. Hex is a hell of a guitar player, and so I take that with the utmost amount of respect from him. So thank you very, very much. And if you'd like to share your thoughts, please do. We'd love to read them. And if they're really horrible ones, we won't read them, but, I guess it's a free country and whatever. So, but hopefully you send nice things. And if you have really bad things, send them to Tony. Okay.
Care of Jared.
Yes. So also we have, this is our, let's see, this is our 5th installment of the Positive Grid Spark Amp action.
Sparky.
We are giving away a Spark amp.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to tell you how to win that in just a second. How to possibly win that.
Wait, back up a little bit.
Yes.
Are you telling me that we are going to be able to give away...
Actually, this is our 6th one.
6th one?
This is the 6th one.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so the next one is when we get to announce the winner.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, I can't hardly wait.
Oh, boy.
So, but we're going to give one of these away.
We are going to give them away. So, in this installment, we've covered a bunch of the great things about the Spark amp.
Yes, special features.
And aside from, us just talking to you about this, we've been using it.
Yes.
I've been using it. Jared's got one. Tony's used it. And
I think I broke it.
Really? Maybe that's why I sound so terrible. So this one, we're going to talk about the full range sound. This is something that both Tony and I responded to immediately. Jared, I'm trusting you had the same experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Keith, have you ever played through a Spark amp?
Yes, I have one.
Perfect.
There we go.
We can all chime in.
We can. I love that dang thing, man.
I was actually blown away with it. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is.
I was exactly the same. And
Me too.
so I think today we're going to talk about, even though this thing is literally the size of a small guitar head.
It's not even that. It's like a shoebox. It's not.
It's tiny, but it's got speakers built into it. And these little teeny tiny speakers, I don't know how they do it, but you can actually feel the air
and
moving.
Loud and immersive.
I mean,
It actually works very well as a Bluetooth speaker as well.
Yes. It's rather stunning. I mean, I was shocked.
I don't know how they do it.
I was shocked. They should call it the Shock.
The Shock.
No, that'd be stupid.
Yeah, especially if it's an electric appliance.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's a combo amp. It isn't a head, but it is the size of a very, very small head.
Yeah, it's teeny tiny.
So there's 2 custom designed speakers and a tuned bass reflex port.
Well,
which are engineered
explains
to provide that deep, full sounding bass. And crystal clear high. Sometimes if you think about Beat headphones, it's like that's awesome for bass, but if you want to hear anything else, it's right.
Yeah.
This is full range sound.
Yeah,
sounds outstanding. So with all of the other features that we talked about, plugging in your music with Bluetooth and playing along, finding that music on Spotify, playing along and getting a drummer hooked into to whatever you're playing with, or just playing straight through. Here's something that I was doing this weekend with it. I was actually using this straight into the computer so that I could record. Before I was miking it and then going through an interface, miking my normal amp and running through an interface. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try to put a couple pedals in front of this to do the 1 minute wonders into the Spark and see what happens. I mean, it was so easy. And
so it was
great.
Like with a USB cable or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah. It's a USB interface and an amp and all the other things. If this thing could make like Hot Pockets, that's the only thing left.
Well, we'll call it the Swiss Army amp.
Yeah. Anyways, so we've been singing the praises of this amp for a while.
Yes. I can't wait to give one away.
I know. Or you can just go get one. There's like $50 off coupons all over the place.
Like I did.
Yeah, I think you're with that coupons and things. You're just a shade over $200.
Yep.
250.
Yeah,
about.
Yep.
Yep.
So
and
you get the carrying case.
Yeah,
I got my carrying case for free.
Nice.
That's awesome. Where did you get it, Jared?
I just got it straight from their website.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Look at that.
I love that place, man. I love that Spark. Yeah, I mean, it works as a Bluetooth speaker too, and it's loud and everything. You know.
Yeah.
You want to listen to your favorite music while you're walking on the treadmill? There you go. No, I mean, I'm serious. That thing works.
But you can hang it from your neck. You're big enough to do that.
I could, like,
now, Jared, you are known for buying things in pairs. Are you going to buy a second Spark?
I might, for my home in Nashville and for my home in Pataskala.
Yeah, you could have one in your office at the Gibson.
But it's that too. But it's so small and light and easy to carry. There's no reason to. You just take it everywhere you go.
You could. Thank you to Positive Grid for hooking us up with this and for giving one to one of our illustrious audience members. All right, let's find out what we had going on in our music worlds this week. Keith, Tony's going to start us off, and he's going to share a little bit about the stuff in his life, you know.
Okay.
A day in the life, a week in the life.
Yeah, how about keeping it to a day?
Okay, I'll just do it.
We got an interview, man.
Oh, is that what we do on this show?
Go.
Okay. Go. So, I don't know, a couple episodes back, I was talking about one of the new Epiphone coronets that I picked up. That's basically a symmetrical, as opposed to an offset, single pickup P90 wraparound bridge that I picked up and was very pleased with. So I've kind of had my feelers out here and there, and I was looking for one of the Wilshires, which is also from the same series and essentially the same body style, except it has two soap bar P90s and a standard tunematic bridge and tailpiece. Well, lo and behold, I found a used one on the Bay of E, and I put a ridiculously low bid on it, and I won it.
Wow.
So, I mean, but even if you buy these things at full price, they're like $449 or something like that. The coronets are $399, the Wilshires are $449, and I think the Crestwoods are another $50 or $100 above that. But this, so it came in just a couple of days ago, and I have to admit, they're 2 for 2. I mean, that's great. This Epiphone series,
it plays fantastic. I was just playing it right now. I was like,
yeah. So what's really cool. It's kind of a remake of what Epiphone put out in. Well, this is during the Gibson years. Well, Gibson owned or bought Epiphone in the late 50s, but they released these in the. Well, I think the very first one came out in 59, but generally speaking, these are kind of like reissues of the 60 and 61 versions. And these have the little, they call it a bikini badge on the headstock that says Epiphone. But it's a really cool guitar, super lightweight. I like the Wilshire every bit as much as the Coronet. I am going to change out the pickups, as I did with the Coronet too. These P90s are a little bit noisy, and I always like to put a reverse whine, reverse polarity in the neck position, so there's hum canceling in the middle. But aside from that, I mean, it's a great guitar, and I think a good place to start if you want to do some upgrades to a particular guitar.
Indeed.
I know a guy for the pickups. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Is his name Jason Lawler?
Oh, jeez.
He makes good P90s. Lindy Freeland makes really good P90s.
I do like Lindy's stuff.
And
I do like the Brandon wound pickups too.
Yes, they're great.
Yeah. Or Gibson.
Or the Gibson ones. That's right.
Keith, have you ever played a Wilshire or a Coronet?
Yeah. Yes, both.
Do you have a preference?
I've not played the new reissues. I've only played the vintage, but I actually prefer the Wilshires.
Yeah, I think you have a little more tonality. Yeah,
kind of guy.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm a 2 pickup kind of guy. You know. Yeah. So I like the versatility of the Wilshire.
Yep, I can get that. You can also play it the other way around, and it looks exactly the same.
That's true.
That is true. Except the knobs are on the wrong side.
Yes. Well.
There is that.
It doesn't matter. Anyways.
Nobody touches those things anyhow. Put some duct tape on.
Yes. So, Keith, what's going on in your music world this week?
Really just doing the same thing. A lot of fret work.
Yeah.
Fret work and listening to Pandora. That's pretty much it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't actually. I couldn't tell you the last time that I actually went into a music store to shop for guitars. I probably should.
How much time do you figure you get to play?
You know what? Lately, the only time I ever play guitar is when I have finished putting one together and I need to make sure it works. So the last couple of weeks, a lot more because I've gotten a lot of guitars back from the paint shop. So the last couple of weeks, a lot more than usual. Over the summer, I was mostly building. So not really a lot of playing going on. And I do regret that. I need to play more.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with guitar builders, which is, I guess kind of ironic. It's like,
I do all of this stuff too. Like I'm always like, well, maybe if I just leave a guitar on the couch, I'll play more. Or maybe if I just get this new amp or this new pedal, I'll play more. But it never seems to work. It's, you got to get stuff out to the customers, and you don't want people calling you and emailing you like, "Where's my guitar?" when you're just sitting on the couch playing a guitar.
Yeah.
I loved your note about project. Progress pictures of the projects.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I know. You get. I'm not.
I'll still send them, but I just, it's like there's only so many that you can send.
Exactly.
They all look the same. It's like I don't really do a lot of shop pictures either because everything kind of looks the same. It's all wood and it's dusty, and you can't really tell what's going on. Yep. And then you have guys that are like, "Why is that part right there?" It's like it's not done yet. Believe that part will go away.
Yeah.
I think I better come down and inspect it.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Oh dear. Well, I certainly hope in the future you get a little bit more chance to do that. But that's got to be super exciting when new paint day and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but you know what I did buy recently, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say, is one of the what are the ones from Thomann? They're super inexpensive guitars.
Oh, Harley Benton's.
That's it. I bought one of those just on a whim because it looks so cool. It's like the giant hollow body.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty cool guitar, so I don't regret buying it at all. The pickups, like any budget model guitar, the pickups could definitely be swapped out. But it's pretty decent. I actually kind of enjoy it. So,
Yeah, we were just talking about
guy
on our last podcast that he emailed me because I'm the same way. I like inexpensive projects that you can upgrade and things like that. And he said that, he bought one model. It was like a Telecaster style. And then he bought his son one of the ones that you just purchased. It's like more like a Gretsch, 6120 kind of thing.
Yes.
And he said the same way that they're inexpensive. I mean, the shipping costs almost as much as the guitar. To get it here to the States, but it is pretty amazing that they can put that caliber or quality of an instrument out for such little money.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's little things here and there. If it was a $4,000 guitar, you would definitely be like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah,
But for I think I paid $160 for mine because it was a B stock.
Uh-huh.
It was like, you can't beat it. You can't pass that up.
You can't build one for that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Plain and simple.
That's fun. Hey, Jared, how about yourself, buddy?
Oh man, yeah, I got this awesome book in today. I haven't really had much time to really read into it, but I was talking to my boss the other day, and for some reason this book came up. It's called Gibson Electrics: The Classic Years. An illustrated history from the mid-30s.
You're not going to read it, are you?
Chapter 1.
And Tony Bloney has to help me out with this. By A.R.
Dushishwa.
Anyway, Mr. Dushishwa recently passed, but my boss was actually friends with him. They would talk all the time because he was always talking with Gibson and whatnot because he was such a huge knowledge base.
Yeah, he was a very well-known he knew. He probably. I'd venture a guess he knew more about guitars than even me.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You do know an awful lot.
But he was known for, especially the Gibson book. But he wrote several other books on
these
guitars.
These books are out of print. They're hard to come by, and if you find one, you will pay. But I thought in the position I'm in, I'd better pick one up. So I think I paid around $50 for it.
Ooh.
For the paperback.
Did you?
But can't get it anywhere else.
Did you check on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I had to buy a used one on Amazon.
Wow.
It was the only one there was only one book on Amazon total.
Huh.
That's it. And I got the book. The one book that was on Amazon. Yeah, it's the first place I looked. I looked on eBay and I couldn't find it.
Well, you could next time check on ABE Books, American Book Exchange.com. They specialize in used books, and if you type in the title, they usually have some that pop up.
So it's a great book to have, and I can't wait to dig into it and use it as a source.
Yeah,
Need
no,
be.
it's a great book.
Yep.
Just don't get any hamburger drippings on it.
Too late.
So,
How about you, Todd?
well, I have a show coming up. Well, by the time you hear this, the show will have been over and will have been a huge success.
And
What are you
Todd
gonna
will
show?
no longer be doing the podcast because he was signed to Chrysalis Records.
Pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Oh.
A car show?
Yeah, well, it is a guitar show. It's not a guitar show. We're playing a thing called Fem Fest this weekend. And it's 3 days in Canton, Ohio, at the famous Buzzbin. And there's like 18 bands or something, but playing over 3 days. So it's going to be really, really flipping awesome.
Fem
Are you
Fest.
doing all violent femme songs?
That would be a show I will not attend. Although I have seen them live.
Really?
Yes.
Anyway,
Anyway,
be a blister in the sun.
yes. Okay, enough about that. What I was busy doing this week was...
Are there will fembots be there?
There's an inside and outside. I don't know if we're playing outside or inside, and I don't know if the inside is kind of inside and outside. It just says that.
USA?
So I don't know what to expect. So in preparation for that, I've been trying to sort of have all right, when I show up, I need to have a pedal board setting for I'm running the amp full on, or I'm running it at half because I'm inside. And Keith, I've got a Supro Black Magic.
Oh no!
Why does this sound like a would you rather right now?
It doesn't. It's just to you. Just listen. You'll
I
love
kind of
it.
know.
It's
It
gonna
kind
be
of
a
does.
great story.
Am I going to be inside or outside? What should I do?
Yeah. No. It's just not that. But so, anyways, got a Black Magic with an extended. It's an extended cab. I can't not call it an extended. It's an extension cab that matches it that I put on the other side of the stage. So my bass player does the same thing. Anyways, it occurred to me that if we're outside, I'm probably going to need to give it more gas.
Yes.
So, and obvious, maybe not obviously to everybody,
You need
but
to borrow a Marshall stack from me.
no. So, anyways.
How about a Dr. Z?
No, I don't need any of that. I can bring my PV Classic VTX if I really run into trouble. Hey, don't sneeze. So what I'm trying to get through here, actually, is the fact that your guitar will sound extremely different. If you're used to playing either only inside clubs and your practice space versus running it full on. And I don't know that many people get to run their amps full up.
Not so much anymore.
So,
Yeah.
Keith, you are a
Whoa,
seasoned
whoa, whoa,
musician.
whoa, whoa,
Hold
whoa,
on a
whoa.
second. Keith, you are a seasoned musician. And I assume you've run into this series of problems before. How did you deal with it?
Just crank it, man.
Inside or outside?
Inside or outside?
You always got the sound guy. I mean, it's been so long since I played a live show, and everything has changed because everything is digital now, and there's no stage volume, and it's kind of weird. So
Yeah.
I actually respect people that are going out and really playing with real amps. So I say just turn it up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played outside.
Bro, you know?
We had a mixture of outside gigs and inside gigs in the last band I was in. That was 10 years ago. And the outside volume, stage volume was a little louder because you didn't have any, walls for the sound to bounce on. But yet we still had a good amount of monitors, and we not in ear, but so I don't think it's going to be such a dramatic change that you're going to have to, sweat about it. You know what I mean? I think you're going to be okay.
Right. As long as you've got a good sound guy, you should be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be monitors. You're not using in-ears, right?
Right. It's all monitors. Yeah. I mean,
you'll be fine.
And you're not the first band, right?
No.
Good.
Or the first day. We're playing the last day. So the guy, maybe his ears will be all blown out and be like, I don't know, play as loud as you want, man.
No, he'll have it all nice and tuned in for you, brother. You'll be just fine.
I'll go if the fembots are there.
They are going to be there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going.
I'm there.
So, anyways, that was my week, and it was as soon as I realized that I was like, ruh-roh, I gotta figure this out. So
You'll be fine, Todd.
You'll be
thanks, guys. Anyway, so we gotta swing on over and find out what Keith's 4 on the floor is, but on our way to doing that, we need to ask Tony a question. Tony.
Yes, Todd.
How many Tour Gear Design patch cables can you fit in your mouth?
What are the lengths?
8.
They're all S-shaped eights.
S-shaped eights?
Yes.
I can fit 23 in my mouth.
3. Well, I wouldn't suggest any of you go and trying that.
You'll choke.
Wait, you might choke.
I can put the 44 right now.
But needless to say, the Tour Gear Designs patch cables are really outstanding products. My entire board is covered in them, not because I get to say this, but because they really, really work very well.
They're great. They're flat. The heads are small.
Yep.
It fits
Fit
everywhere.
anywhere on the pedal.
It saves you. I mean, you probably if you did your board with all Tour Gear Design cables, you could probably fit another pedal on your board.
You could
at least.
Maybe 2.
I would say probably 2, to be honest.
Having them in your mouth is no worse than having black licorice in your mouth.
I love black licorice, actually. Keith, do you like black licorice? Question number 1.
Do. My wife hates it, and I love it.
Isn't that
It's
great?
weird.
Yeah.
It's like olives. You either like it or hate it.
Yes,
everybody loves olives.
She likes black olives, and I don't like olives at all, which I feel like black olives just taste like black licorice. So go figure.
Yeah, that is weird.
Are you more a green olive guy?
I don't like olives at all.
Oh, you don't like olives, period.
Do you like Olive Garden?
I do. Yes. Who doesn't love the
Free breadsticks?
Exactly. Come on.
Yeah. Why do they always put the close sign up whenever I come in? Anyways, yeah. So the Tour Gear Designs patch cables, they're fantastic. You really need to grab yourself some. Go to tourgeardesigns.com/discount/the guitar knobs, and you're going to save 10% off of as many patch cables that you can fit in your mouth and your pockets
and then some.
And a bag.
Yes.
Yep.
Do it.
Yeah. tourgeardesigns.com/discount/the guitar knobs, or just go there and probably put in the guitar knobs in the discount code. I'm sure it'll work.
It'll work.
Yeah. So thank you to Tour Gear Designs for sponsoring our 4 on the floor. Jared.
Let me get a little bit of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
Keith Horne, Marvin Guitars. What is your 4 on the floor?
First and foremost, an original Jim Dunlop Crybaby. I've had it ever since I was 16. I've tried other ones, and I just keep coming back to the original.
How many times have you had to repair that?
I only once actually. I had to have the potentiometer replaced, and that's it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Usually the string breaks eventually.
There's no
I've had the same one since 16, and it's still going strong.
Good.
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. Right?
Build them like tanks, man.
Right? Yeah. Number 2, at my Daredevil pedals hype pedal. Just super simple. I got that from my buddy Johnny, and it's absolutely amazing. It's something that I can't live without now. There's no knobs, no nothing. You just hit the button, and it does what it's supposed to do.
And which? Okay, first of all, Johnny solid dude. Been on the show. We gotta need to have him back on. Actually.
Yeah.
Well, he moved.
Oh.
Or no, different Johnny.
Different Johnny.
I'm sorry.
That's yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry. Forget
He
that.
did move, but he's still in the Chicago area.
That's the other Johnny.
Different Johnny. Sorry.
Yeah, they're all named Johnny in Chicago.
Yeah, Johnny.
But that's actually how I found you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was watching one of his videos. I was like, "What's that? What's the guitar he's playing? What is that?"
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Well, got to get him on." So,
Awesome.
now the hype pedal.
Yes.
Tell us about why. Make me buy a hype pedal.
I mean, come on, man. I'm not the best at marketing, and I'm not the best talker.
Sell me this pen.
I can't give you a lot of hype on the hype, No, it does what it's supposed to do. You click the pedal, and it just makes you sound better. It's like I guess, kind of like a clean boost, I guess.
Okay.
But I mean, it's absolutely amazing. You just click it on, and it makes me sound better. So,
Do you throw it in the front of your chain or in the back?
right after my wah pedal,
Okay.
in the front.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of lift, is it a little sparkle? Is it more bottom end? What do you get?
No, a little more sparkle and a little more. Man, Johnny's going to kill me for this. And it's it's just a little more sparkle and some overdrive. It just kicks it in gear a little more.
Nice.
I can
Yeah.
dig it. I can
Who
dig
could
it.
ask for anything more?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, a Dynacomp. Yeah.
All right.
Now we've had compression discussions.
It's kind of boring, but it does what it's supposed to do. It just makes me sound better. I'm kind of a sloppy guitar player, so when I'm playing anything clean, especially solos, it tends to clean me up a little bit and just give a little extra something that is not there when I'm just playing without it.
Now, when you say play clean, you mean playing without like modular effects, but you're still
Without
distorted?
the overdrive, man, I'm such a simple guitar player. When I say clean, it normally means turn the tone down on the neck pickup to about 3 and flip up the toggle switch. So
Gotcha.
yeah, then you pick the Dynacomp on, and then it just does what it's supposed to do, man. It just makes me sound better.
Good. Okay.
I've had that one. I couldn't tell you where I got that. Probably some pawn shop somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about number 4?
Number 4, an old, and I don't even know if you guys would even be able to find this on the internet, but an old DOD digital delay.
I used to have one of those. The
Purple
blue
one?
one.
No, mine was purple.
I
and
mean
it had-
purple.
By blue, he meant purple.
Yeah, and it's got like a almost like the early days of looping when you could play like 3 seconds of something and you could hit the pedal and it would loop it and you could play over it. Still use that pedal to this day. Absolutely love it.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you can find one on eBay or Amazon, pick it up. It's fun.
Now, is that a 9-volt or is that the big giant?
No, it's 9-volt.
Okay, yeah. See, I think I must have had the one before that because it was baby blue and it had that giant wall wart, like the plug with the wall wart. I can't,
It was hardwired?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a guitar. It was like a guitar plug that you stick in.
Oh, okay.
A big one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's why I got rid of it,
Know that one.
which I regret now. But at the time I needed to move things to get things.
Yes.
Such is life. So, anyways, well, that's
an unusual 4 on the floor. I mean,
There you go,
some
man.
of those things are.
I like it.
As long as Jared likes it.
Yeah, indeed. Well, listen, man, we need to interview you. We're going to talk about you now. This is all from here on out. We're talking about you. We're talking about your guitars, except for a bunch of nonsense at the end.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so everybody buckle in here. Lightning question. What is your favorite model that you make?
Favorite model is the Ventura.
Okay.
Mr. Moserite.
As I wish I've talked about. Yeah, it's like the Mosrite looking thingy. Just because it's such an interesting, the way I do the carve is so interesting, and it's just an enjoyable guitar to build.
Yeah. I mean, I like that one. I'm a big Moserite fan. But, as I'm sure you're aware, vintage Moserites are their nut width is very narrow. They're not the best made instruments.
Strange guitars. The neck is very, very narrow. They're very weird.
Yeah. And then, it
But
depends
man,
on
the shape. Come on, the shape is so cool.
Yeah. That is, I mean, you don't. I guess you have sort of a German carve, not quite as severe as on a Mosrite, but it's
like
a
no.
look.
It's like a German carve meets arm contour back into a German carve.
Okay, here's a second lightning question. What is your favorite color to paint a guitar?
Favorite color? Anything sparkle, man.
Amen.
Yeah, I here's the thing, man. Most people like a sunburst guitar for some reason, but man, you get a nice sparkle, like a green, like a crazy chartreuse green sparkle. That's just it looks good in the sun. It looks good in the lights.
Makes people smile.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And the sparkle guitars are making a huge comeback right now too.
Yep.
Yeah, Jared likes the sparkle. He gets a little too happy with the sparkle sometimes.
I guess.
Well,
that's it, really. So,
okay, all right. Great interview. Nice talking to you.
Guess I didn't need 4-hour party.
Yeah.
I was going to say your guitar company is named after my dog. My dog's name is Marvin.
No way.
Yeah, he's an Australian Shepherd Poodle mix, so he's an Aussie Poo.
Yeah.
Oh,
and his name is Marvin.
Awesome.
So where does that stem from?
It stems from my dad. His name is Marvin. My name is actually Marvin as well. Marvin Keith is my name, and my dad was Marvin Ray. So I wasn't a junior, and they didn't call me Marvin. So it's kind of like an ode to my dad, Plus it's my name. So yeah,
sweet.
Yeah,
well,
that's where a lot of people ask that.
If his name was Marvin Keith, then you could have been MK2, which would have arguably been one of the coolest names you could come up with.
For real.
Oh, dear. I'm stupid. So we talked a little bit earlier, you and I, and I learned a lot about your background, before the show.
Right.
You were a touring musician. You played an awful lot. Can you give us just a taste of that background leading up to where you started making guitars?
Oh, God. I mean, it started when I was, after I graduated high school at 18. That's all I wanted to do was just play music for a living. So I chased that dream until I was 34 years old. That's when I finally gave up. And I decided that I didn't want to be in a van with a bunch of guys anymore, and I just wanted to be by myself. I'd rather be on my couch at night than in this dirty mattress in the back of a van.
Yep.
So, but yeah. So that's what leads me here. So, and I couldn't be happier.
Nice. Well,
yeah. I did my last tour about, what year was that? That was probably 2014. And it was kind of a hired gun kind of deal. And it was in an RV, not even a van. And I was still like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. This is it. I'm way too old. I'm 34 years old. My bones are aching. And I just can't do it anymore.
But you had a good time while you were
Sometimes
doing it.
I definitely had a good time. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it at all. And sometimes I do still miss it. But not really.
Yeah. You got a pretty cool job right now. That's for sure.
I dig it. Yeah.
So,
that's for sure.
Okay. So Keith, what was the rock and roll lightning bolt that struck you and made you say, oh man, I got to do this?
In reference to building guitars?
In reference to playing music, in reference to saying, I'm committing myself to rock and roll here.
Oh, man, I grew up in a really small town in North Carolina, and I just had to get out. And somehow, luckily, music found me, and I picked up the guitar. My neighbor started playing guitar, and then I picked it up and started playing as well. And as soon as I started playing, I was like, oh man, this could be my ticket out of this small town. So that's really where it started. I was probably 14 or 15 years old at that point.
Do you remember what you were listening to around that time?
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden.
Nice.
Maiden, Judas Priest, Dio. Everything that was on the radio, or maybe not on the radio at that point, but everything that I should not have been listening to, I was listening to. And then, of course, I heard Motley Crue, and that's probably is the lightning bolt moment.
Yeah.
I heard those guys, and I was like, oh man, this is what I've got to do. So yeah, thanks for bringing that out of me.
Yeah. Well, if you can listen to Live Wire and not want to do that forever, then you've got something wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's cool. So then,
So where's the transition from touring musician and you getting tired of it to saying, I want to build guitars?
I started to become less and less interested in touring and being in a van with, smelly guys and not being able to shower for days at a time. And, but I still love guitars, and I thought that the guitars are beautiful, and that I whatever I did with the rest of my life, it had to involve guitars. So my father-in-law is a woodworker, and I just was like, man, maybe I should try to build these things. So after several attempts at not being able to build a guitar at all, I decided to just do whatever I could to learn how to build these things and learn as much as I can about it. And I started sweeping. I thought about going to the school out here and spending a whole lot of money to build one guitar, and then hopefully I can get a job and save the world by building the best musical instruments ever made. But in reality, I just started sweeping up at guitar shops, working for them for free, different apprentice kind of situations, and just learning and watching, and that's pretty much it. I just had to stay. Whatever I did, I just had to continue working with guitars. So that's how it evolved.
So what guitars were you playing when you were touring?
I was always a Les Paul guy. Mm-hmm. Always. I've never been that guy that can make a Strat sound good. I've always wanted to be, but for some reason, it just does not work for me. Like I said earlier, I'm
me both.
Sloppy guitar player. I'm really sloppy. So I have to use the sloppiness to work for me. So I could always do that with a Les Paul, but with a Strat, no way. The Les Paul, the thing about the Les Paul is you got the three-way toggle, so you could turn the neck volume all the way down, and if you ever get just confused in what you're doing, you could just flip the toggle switch up and you cut yourself off completely, figure it out, and then go back down to the bridge pickup, and you're all good.
Now, Jared's a big Les Paul guy, aren't you, Jared?
Oh yeah, I have several of them. Yes.
Yeah.
What was your like go-to of the Les Pauls, Keith?
I had an '89 Cherry Sunburst, and I bought it when I was 16 years old, and it was with me everywhere. And then a typical headstock break, and it was never right after that. And then I sold it, and I still regret selling it because I feel like I could have probably fixed it and made it right now. But yeah, that was always my go-to. 89 Cherry Sunburst.
Did you have a backup, or were you singing one
guitar?
I
had like a 78 Norland era natural top something that I picked up at a pawn shop somewhere.
That's what I have now. I have one of those. It's a 79.
Yep, there you go.
It's a natural finish, and the sun has just made it yellow. It's great.
Yeah.
Something about it.
I loved it. Regret selling that one.
Yeah, speaking of that natural top, the one that Jared has, it's one that if you saw it on Craigslist, I don't know that you'd run to it, but you pick it up and it's just like, oh my gosh, this thing is incredible.
Those are the ones you have to take a chance on,
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So you your first guitars that you were attempting to build, what kind of style were they? Were they set neck, bolt neck?
The first couple were like kits, like basically just unpainted finished guitars, and you had to do a little bit of fret work and that kind of thing. So those turned out okay. And then I was like, oh man, I'm a pro at this. I could definitely build one. So then my next attempt at actually building one from scratch was like a Les Paul Junior style, and it was just atrocious. The neck was basically unplayable. It was warped before I even got the fretboard on, but then I'm like, I can straighten it out with gluing the fretboard on, and it just didn't work out. So it was atrocious. So, after a while of doing that and finally picking up some odd jobs in guitar shops, I finally got to where I could actually build a body and then start working on a neck. And So that's how it started out. It was a long process. It wasn't like you're going to build a guitar in 6 months, like some of these schools promise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can build one.
Yeah.
You may not be able to play it, but you can build one.
Yeah. Yeah. You can build one, and then you've got some firewood later.
So looking at your the models that you offer, it seems like, so is mahogany your wood of choice?
Mahogany. I love mahogany.
Yeah.
Yep. I've always been a Les Paul guy, so everything that I build is somewhat inspired by Les Paul construction.
Yeah.
Set neck, mahogany body, maple top for the most part. Mahogany neck, rosewood or ebony fretboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like that CN90 is almost a little Wilshire and Cornetish.
Well, sure. That's actually what it was supposed to be. It was when we came up with the concept, it was supposed to combine the best parts of a Mosrite and a cornet.
Mm-hmm.
Thin body, but a little bit wider. But some people don't like the small body of the cornet, so the concept here was to make it bigger, but thin like the cornets. And I think we did a pretty good job. It's actually, I was surprised when I got the first one done. It feels a lot like an SG, even though it's wider. But when it's on your body, it balances better than an SG, but it feels like an SG.
Because of how thin it is?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because of how thin, and you have full fret access. Like it meets the body at the 21st or 22nd fret.
Yeah.
So you have full access to the frets, and that's one of the things about an SG is the playability of it with fret access.
Yeah, that was so one of the rumors that when Epiphone came out with these in the late 50s is that they actually took a Telecaster and traced the bottom half and flipped it and then made the upper halves and the symmetrical ones like this one here,
Yeah.
And the original ones had a very small edge contour, so it was very much like a slab body Telecaster.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, you're really clever with the pickguard, because if you're looking at it the right way, it's like that does look like a Mosrite.
Yeah.
But the body's not.
Right.
The models that you're making, what kind of turnaround do you encounter when you're doing a new order?
About 6 to 8 months from the time the deposit's actually put down to the time you get it at your door. I try to keep it around the 6-month mark, but sometimes things happen beyond my control, especially now during the COVID days. There's a lot of parts that you can't get. Wood is becoming harder to get good wood now for some reason. So there's a lot of different variables that could come into play, but I do try to keep it around that 6-month mark. I like to consider myself a micro builder. I'm not interested in building like 100 guitars a year. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in doing maybe 3, 4, 5 if things work out really well a month. Because I'm just a quality over quantity guy. So everything is handmade. I mean, I do use some routers and saws and that kind of thing, but everything is just done by me in my little shop. And then I do take it off and farm out the paint jobs. But that's why I try to keep it that 6-month period, because it does take time, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait.
What type of finishes are you using?
I use nitro mostly.
Nitro? Okay.
Every once in a while, I will use a polyester sealer. Like the Ventura model, just because of the way it's built, it's better to use a polyester sealer than go straight nitro. The way it's built is the maple top kind of gets carved away from the mahogany there, the arm contour. So if you don't use a polyester sealer, you'll get a line there where you can see what's continually. So yeah. Every once in a while, I'll do that on something, but for the most part, it's all nitro.
On the Ventura, I know that it's a super popular model, especially like in the garage rock or punk rock, whatever you want to call it. This one is featured with a rail in the back there. Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh, in that particular one, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I normally don't use rail pickups, but for that particular one, it was built for someone who plays in a band that has a really low tuning.
Oh.
Yeah, so he specified that I put the rail pickup in that. Yeah.
Now, and when people are ordering, I mean, you have the ones up here, and you're like, "Hey, this is what you can get."
Yeah.
How much of your work is custom beyond the model?
You can customize anything. You can tell me what kind of neck shape you want, what pickups you want, what color you want the pick guard, what color you want the paint job. If you want a maple neck instead of a mahogany neck, you can do that. Sometimes I may try to talk you out of that just based on my feelings, but if it's what you want, it's what you want. So everything is customizable. I don't like to go outside of shapes that I offer and do anything too custom, because it really gets into a time versus money type of situation. And you can spend hours and hours and hours trying to do something custom for someone. And it then maybe it is not everything that they would like for it to be,
Right.
Yeah.
Don't seem to do a whole lot of relicking.
Not a lot. No. I've always been the kind of guy that likes to go to the music store and pick a brand new guitar up off the wall. Don't get me wrong, though. I love old guitars. It's my passion is vintage guitars. But when I was a kid, I just liked to see shiny guitars on the wall. It was just something about the sparkle of the light and being able to see your reflection in the finish. So that's what I try to do. If someone wants something relic, yeah, I'll of course I'll do it. But it's not really my thing. And there's a lot of guys out there doing it too. So I don't really like to step on toes. Let them do their thing and I'll do mine.
So you just mentioned vintage guitars. Tony, his neck just about snapped off his head because he and Jared both have quite a few vintage guitars. What is? Tell us about what you have that first thing that comes to mind in your collection when we said vintage guitars.
Actually, I don't have any in my collection right now. I did have some old 70s Les Pauls, and I had I had a 63 SG, I think, when I was younger. But unfortunately, due to room and other circumstances, I had to get rid of a lot of the guitars that I had when I was younger.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's the sad story of so many.
Yeah, I know. I love them, though. I love them, and I always want one. I always want a 59 Les Paul, but geez, I've got to sell my Ferrari out in the parking lot.
maybe both Ferraris.
Yeah.
Right.
So the guitars that you have created so far obviously have pretty solid inspiration. You clearly have an affinity for the classics, and with the guitars that you're making right now and moving forward, are you looking to expand into any new designs, or is this your stack?
That's what I've done the whole summer. I've been redesigning and actually building some new models.
Brilliant.
Yeah, one of them may be on the website now. I was working with that one for a year or so, maybe even longer. But I am planning on doing away with a lot of the so-called borrowed shapes. Mm-hmm. I'll still build them, if people want them, because a lot of those are my most popular models. But I am leaning towards basically putting new designs on the website. But yeah, I am going to. There's going to be some new stuff coming down the line for sure. And it's still, it's still vintage guitar based. So it's somewhat familiar to the eyes, but different enough. I should say. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned one might be on the website. Is that the Telegraph?
Yeah. Telegraph, yes. Yep. Exactly.
So there's a lot of different inspirations in this. Tell us about how you came up with this.
Most right, Rickenbacker, Strat. I think that was pretty much it. Most right, Rickenbacker, and a Strat. I don't know the model of the Rickenbacker. It's the one that looks kind of like it has slanted frets.
Yeah, it's like a 480 or a 481.
That was mostly my inspiration for it. I was like, man, what a cool guitar, and you never see these. So I kind of want to make something very similar, but yet different.
Yeah, I could see a little bit of. There was a couple of Guild Solid bodies that had a. I won't say a similar shape, but it's the same kind of thing. But yours, with the extra carving and contouring, I think is a nice upgrade from that.
Right. And I love carved tops. I'm going to be doing more carved tops as opposed to flat top slab body kind of thing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those the contours are very subtle. I think you did a good job of capturing those with the photos. It makes you I mean, even if it was just slab body, it's still pretty cool looking. But when you see the contours, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
And that in a sparkle? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I may have one you'll be able to see pretty soon.
Very cool. You got a couple new models you're talking about doing. Anything else new in Marvin Guitars that we're going to be looking forward to?
I'm constantly doing web updates, so new website maybe in the works once I get the new guitars up and going. I'm going to be trying to get in a few more stores maybe so people can play them locally. I don't know which ones or how long yet, but I am that is something that's in the works. Yeah.
Let me ask you on that note. Not being a guitar builder, but I think I'm sympathetic to an issue that I suspect you must have, which is I've got this amazing instrument. I've taken the best pictures I can. I've got them out to a few friends, but for the most part, all of humanity doesn't know what this actually is.
Exactly. And I build guitars. I admittedly, I'm not the best businessman. I'm not a big fan of social media, so everyone is always on my case about posting stuff on social media, and I really can't stand it. But yeah, that is hard. It's you can't really you get to a point to where you can't really rely on word of mouth anymore. So and it's hard. Sometimes it is a hard sell because no one has actually held your instrument. So if they are in stores, it does kind of help that out in a certain way where you can be like, well, you can go down here and to blah 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 music surplus or whatever and try one out there. So it definitely makes things easier.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to be doing any of the upcoming NAMM stuff?
I was, and then changed my mind last minute. I don't know. Everything is so weird right now. We don't know. I was down to do it, but what I'm concerned with is spending all this money and all this time on a NAMM winter NAMM show, which is not cheap.
No.
And then only a handful of people actually come out because of everything that's going on. So not this January, but probably next year, maybe summer NAMM, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe some of the smaller guitar shows, like some of the ones that are, what is it, the Dallas Guitar Show or Texas Guitar Show?
Oh, Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, maybe in whenever they do that one again, possibly. But definitely 2022 NAMM, winter NAMM, for sure I'll be there.
Awesome. I think that's what we're planning on hoping to be there as well.
Right. We actually put the deposit and everything down, and then we heard that a lot of the larger vendors weren't even going to be there. So luckily for us, we contacted the fine folks at NAMM, and they refunded our money just, because of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were really looking forward to that this year, but c'est la vie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So here's the last question, and then we're gonna head on over to find out what's going on with Jared. But I'm curious if you could get your guitar in the hand of any living player.
Yeah.
Better a living player.
A living player. Who would it be, and what model would it be?
It would be Billy Gibbons and the CN90.
That's not impossible.
All right, and what color would that be?
It would definitely be something sparkle. Come on.
Exactly.
Of course.
Maybe some
He's talking my
pinstriping.
language.
Billy and sparkle, man. It goes together.
Pinstriped sparkle.
There you go.
I like it. Well, we are going. First of all, Keith, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's,
you bet. Well, we got a few more things to wrap up with, and then we're going to let you go. Starting with Jared.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the time of the podcast where we like to play a little game called Would You Rather?
Whoa. You've been practicing.
Extended play.
Yeah. So I took a big breath that time. So this is from our good old buddy, Uncle Bruce Bacon. Your stage show is in the toilet like it sucks.
Stage show. Bad stage show.
Your act, your repertoire is crap.
Okay.
So a genie, and that looks like you, Todd, grants you one wish to take your act to the next level.
Okay.
So would you rather have Pete Townshend's windmill? You guys know what that is when he windmills a guitar.
Signature move, his arm.
Absolutely. Or Eddie Van Halen's scissor kick in your stage. Yeah. Which one are you going to do to improve your stage? Wow.
All right.
What do we have to rub on you, Todd, to get the wish?
His head.
Yes. Let's just forward through that. Tony Bolonsky.
Well, I'm afraid if I got Eddie Van Halen's scissor kick, I might need a hip replacement.
Yeah. Or your other gallbladder removed.
Yeah, I get my second gallbladder out.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Pete Townshend, and that windmill move was just so cool.
Yeah.
And especially when he hit the strings with his raw fingers and blood would splurt.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. So I'm going with the windmill. Pete Townshend all the way.
All right. Jared.
If I did the splits, I would break a hole in the stage and,
That's true.
land in China somewhere. I'm going to definitely go with the old windmill. I'm going to join the Tony Baloney
Yay,
Island. That's right. Going to do the windmill trick.
All right. Let's see here. Keith, how about yourself?
I'd have to go with the windmill as well, man. I'm getting too old to be doing jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I think this one's going to be pretty easy. I, too, will go with the windmill. Now, and I also want to know, how does everybody know where that move came from?
The windmill.
What?
From the Netherlands?
No.
A windmill.
So the story goes, and I might be wrong on the actual show.
Probably.
I think it was the Rock and Roll Circus. He was watching Keith warm up, and Keith was just kind of swinging his arms, like just loosening up.
Ah.
And the Who went on before the Stones at the Rock and Roll Circus,
Right.
the show that they did back in the 60s.
Right.
And, arguably blew him off the stage. Well, if I get some of these dates wrong, please don't, skewer me alive here. But I believe that was the debut of the windmill. And story that I read is that he nabbed that from Keith because he thought, well, that's a cool move. I'm going to do that.
Tony, what do you say?
I thought he did that a lot earlier than the Rock and Roll Circus show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It might. I may be getting the dates a little bit mixed up. I'm just, I'm trying to think fast here. But I do recall reading that on numerous occasions that the famed windmill move was a result of him
Inspired by Keith.
watching Keith warm up, and that's where I was trying to put him together at a show. So, anyways,
Interesting.
yeah,
That's all right, buddy.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too, because I really don't want to handle a crap ton of email coming at me. Keith, do you have anything to refute that?
No, I don't. I think you're 100% correct. I'm going to take your word for it.
I like that.
Oh, you're going to be Todd's
We need
best
him on the
friend.
show a lot more. All right. Well, thank you, Bruce, for sending that in. Brucey. for sending that in.
That's right.
Yes, we got to say thank you to a few people from Tony, and then we're going to say goodbye to our friend Keith here.
Yes, Todd, because at this point of the show, there's a very special group of people we like to thank. We love to thank. Why? Because they are sponsors, patrons of this very podcast. Now, you might be wondering, how do I sponsor this podcast? And what levels can I participate? How can I make Todd happy? And Tony and Jared.
Yeah.
Make everybody happy. I want you to go over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. You'll find a couple different levels in which you can participate, to sponsor, to be a patron, to make this podcast possible. There's a level that we call the executive producer.
That's right.
Each level comes with some great thank you gifts, things like t-shirts and barefoot buttons and keychains and picks and stickers and all the good stuff that you can't even imagine. You never knew existed. But as an executive producer, you get all that great stuff. I'm not saying you don't get it, but you get it. But there's one more thing that you get. Todd, what is that?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to thank these executive producers. You get your name read on the thing. Tony's the guy that reads them. So special thanks to these executive producers. Tom Barazin, Darren Gregory, Doug Christ, Ken Sayers, Brian Robinson, Michael Senchuk, Stefan Lamb, Anthony Lathrop, John Anglin, Brad Partridge, John Esterly, Justin Jones, James White, Matt Hart, Bill Gola Guitars, Richard Kendall, Ty Harmon, John Jackson, Jason Roush, Gary Cooper, Mark Gotten, Elad Mizrahi, Magadi, Trevor Gunberg, Rick Calhoun, Anthony Gemolero, and John Halverson.
Well, that's a pretty big list there, Tony.
Wait a minute there, Todd. Okay. Because, yeah, we've got these executive producers. We also have a level that's kind of the top of the heap, if you will. These are our grand poobahs. In addition to all the good stuff, they get a special fez to place upon their head whilst listening to the podcast, while thinking about the podcast, while talking about the podcast. Mm-hmm. So a special thanks to these grand poobahs. Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, David Kaminga, Science of Sound, Cody Foster, Sean S. Tommy Manasco, Adam Johnson, Steve Keys, Tim Nowak, Tyler Rhines, James Pennington, LSJ Music Company, John Williams, Johnny Morales, Mel Sanders, Bob Crouch, Sam Jett, Michio Morikishi, Martin Cliff, Hex Matos, and did I tell you we have an upgrade this week?
Oh, man.
Huh?
He was a mere executive producer, now a grand poobah, Mr. Michael Van Zandt.
Super exciting. Thank you so much, Michael, for making that choice. It warms the cockles of our souls.
We like you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to give a humongous thank you to Keith Horne of Marvin Guitars for joining us on the show and sharing his hard-earned time.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. It was a real pleasure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, our door is always open to you for moving forward.
Thank you very much. I'll probably knock.
Good. And I hope everybody else has a fantastic guitar week.
Well, wait a minute. How do we get a hold of?
I was just checking to see if you were listening, Tony.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
I gotta keep track of you
clever,
every
Todd.
step of the way.
I know. So, Keith, where
me.
can people buy your guitars and find them and be awesome?
www.marvinguitars.com, as well as instagram.com/marvinguitars.
Get a handmade instrument from this guy. And
there you go.
And then your life is going to be so good. Anthony.
Yes.
Where can people get a hold of you?
Well, let's just say you want a special pick guard. We'll make you something real nice, Clark.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go over to pickguardian.com.
/
No /. Just go to pickguardian.com.
Okay.
No / the guitar knobs. No, we're not going to do that. And just check out some of the things I have to offer on the line. It is I do mostly custom work though. So shoot me an email. Tell me what you need.
Anything you want, he can make. Just about.
Well, yeah.
I said just about. I qualified that.
Thank you for the
Sparkle guards.
qualification.
Yeah.
Pickguardian.com. Shoot me an email.
There you go. Get some sparkle in your life. Jared, about yourself.
If you want to ask me questions about pickups, which is perfectly fine, just get a hold of me through the Guitar Knobs message, social media things.
Awesome. You can send me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com, or you can DM me on Instagram @guitarknobs and ask me or any of the fellas the question. And I'm also, you know what? I've been doing such a good job of, I don't know if it's a good job. I've always just kind of felt weird, but doggone it, go check out my band for Pete's sakes, the Valentinos. You can get downloaded
I
for
thought the
free
name of your band was For Pete's Sakes.
No, that would be hilarious.
Not bad.
Everybody's like, ooh, I'm going to go check them out. That sounds amazing. No, it's not. But the Valentinos are. You can get it for, go listen to it for free on Spotify. And you can also check it out at thevalentinos.com and on Bandcamp.
It's good stuff.
It's a good
It
band.
is.
It's a good band.
If you want to do some hard rocking when you're driving home or doing whatever, mowing the lawn or chopping up celery.
When's the power ballad coming out?
No power ballad. Get out of
No,
here.
here we go again on our own.
No, stop it. All right, everybody, have a great Guitar Week and subscribe.
Yeah.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little
bit.
more.
C3 now.
Did it.
Yay!
Hey.
All right.
I'm the worst.
Yes.
Tony quit. Bastard. I don't need that today.
All I can do is read a book. Do.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, I'll be sure to cut that out.
Thanks, Tony Baloney.
Hello.
I miss you.
I know I'm all screwed up, dude. This is crazy. Okay, Jared, no more.
Let's do it over again.
Here we go.
I called you too the other day. Why didn't you call me back? God damn it!
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.